being on the edge of the Baltimore Harbor and then the Chesapeake Bay watershed, we are invested in the conservation of this particular water body and this particular watershed. And unfortunately, because we live in Baltimore City and it's a very urban area and there's a lot of people living in this area, one of our major problems with water pollution here in Baltimore City in 2013 is marine debris. We call it marine debris, but basically it's pollution and trash. We have a lot of trash that comes down from the streams that feed into the harbor.
Stevenson University is working on a project with funding from the Chesapeake Bay Trust. This project entails looking at the trash in the Jones Falls watershed. What we're doing is looking at not only the type, but also the movement of this trash as it goes down through the watershed into the harbor.
We did an experiment where we put oranges into the watershed at different points to see what they would do as if they were a piece of trash. So what we found was that a lot of the times the oranges got stuck along the side, but sometimes they were able to travel through the watershed without much trouble to our next point where we collected them.
Stevenson University students helped to collect, characterize, and quantify the trash found along the Jones Falls watershed.
As we collected trash that was along the water's edge, we recorded the type of trash that it was, like those metal, plastic, or glass, or any other ones like paper. And one of the most interesting things we found was a bumper that was in the stream.
One of those locations that we cleaned up was at the Meadow Mill Shopping Center. At that location, we cleaned up about 300 pieces of plastic, among other things such as metals, textiles, paper, and lots of glass at that site. In the 2.5 hours, we picked up 120 pounds of trash, and we estimate that we only cleaned up about 30% of the debris that was at that location.
This is our industrial size scale. It weighs it in kilograms. We put our trash, we hook it up to it. We make it out of PVC pipes, and this is what we use to find out how much our trash weighs.
So there's a pretty bad debris or trash problem here in Baltimore Harbor, and it's so bad that our city has trash boats. We have a concerted effort. We spend a lot of money picking up trash in the inner harbor. This is a great place for tourists to come. It's a great place for Baltimore City to show off all the wonderful things we have, but it gets tarnished on a frequent basis by the trash that's here in the harbor. There's a lot of people that see it.
The most important thing to do is to try and reduce the amount of trash that you produce in a day. And what does that mean for you? It means if you go to a grocery store and you're only buying one item, refuse that bag that they try and offer you. If you're going to buy a lot of items, try and bring your own reusable bag or use a paper bag and recycle it later.
If we can get people to change their behaviors upstream so it never gets down here, that's a much cheaper option. And it's very kind of grassroots efforts. Start small, grow big. It's talking to citizens, it's talking to students, it's talking to community groups about just making sure we're doing the right thing and changing behaviors a little bit at a time.
With the support of the Jones Falls watershed community, we can make the Baltimore Harbor swimmable and fishable by 2020.